Austria is one of Europe's wealthiest countries. It was once the heart of an empire that shaped an entire continent. Yet today it feels strangely quiet. Most people know Austria for Vienna, Mozart, or the postcard beauty of Hallstatt. But beyond those famous places lies a country that never stopped protecting its history, its traditions, and a way of life that much of Europe has already lost. So why does one of Europe's most influential nations seem almost invisible today? To answer that question, we have to look beyond the postcards and discover the hidden Austria. Long before Austria became a peaceful alpine country, it stood at the center of Europe. For more than 6 centuries, the House of Habsburg ruled one of the largest empires in history. From Vienna, they governed lands that stretched across much of Central Europe, connecting dozens of cultures, languages, and traditions under a single crown. Unlike many empires that relied mainly on conquest, the Habsburgs often expanded through diplomacy and royal marriages. Their influence became so remarkable that Europe created a famous saying, "Let others wage war. You, happy Austria, marry." As the empire grew, Vienna became a city where politics, science, music, and art flourished together. Magnificent palaces, grand opera houses, and elegant streets reflected the confidence of a nation that believed its future would last forever. But history rarely follows expectations. In 1914, the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand ignited the First World War. 4 years later, the Austro-Hungarian Empire collapsed, and Austria suddenly found itself transformed from the heart of a vast empire into a small, landlocked nation. Many countries would have spent generations trying to restore their lost power. Austria chose something different. Instead of rebuilding an empire, it began preserving something far more valuable: its culture, its identity, and the traditions that had survived every political change. That quiet decision continues to shape Austria today. But if Austria no longer ruled Europe, what allowed it to preserve so much of its past while the rest of the continent changed so rapidly? Leaving Vienna behind, Austria begins to feel completely different. The busy streets give way to quiet valleys. Modern skylines disappear behind towering mountains, and before long, it seems as if time itself has begun to slow down. This is the Austria that many travelers never truly see. Across the Alps, villages have remained remarkably unchanged for centuries. Wooden farmhouses still stand on the same hillsides. Church bells continue to mark the rhythm of everyday life. Local festivals, traditional clothing, and family recipes are not performances for visitors. They're simply part of life. Hallstatt is perhaps the most famous example. Today, millions come to admire its breathtaking lakeside setting. But long before it became a tourist destination, it was already thriving because of salt. For more than 7,000 years, these mountains have supplied one of the world's oldest known salt mines, shaping both the village and the region around it. Yet Hallstatt is only the beginning. From the vineyards of the Wachau Valley to the peaceful villages of Tyrol, Austria is filled with places where history isn't locked behind museum walls. It's woven into everyday routines, preserved by people who continue living much as their grandparents once did. Perhaps that's Austria's greatest achievement. It hasn't simply protected old buildings. It has protected a way of life. If you're enjoying this journey through hidden Austria, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Hidden Worlds. There are many more forgotten places waiting to be discovered. But what protected these villages for centuries wasn't history alone. It was the mountains themselves. More than 60% of Austria is covered by the Alps. To visitors, these mountains are breathtaking landscapes. But for the people who have lived here for generations, they have always been something much more. The Alps shaped the way Austria was built. For centuries, steep mountains separated villages from one another. Traveling wasn't easy, especially during the long winters. As a result, communities learned to rely on themselves. They built their own homes, grew their own food, and developed traditions that were passed down from one generation to the next. This isolation also created remarkable diversity. Each valley developed its own customs, local festivals, dialects, and architecture. Even today, traveling just a short distance can reveal subtle differences in the way people live, celebrate, and preserve their heritage. The mountains also taught Austrians to live with nature instead of trying to control it. Homes were designed to withstand heavy snowfall. Forests were carefully managed to protect villages from avalanches. Alpine meadows became summer pastures, while hiking trails that once connected remote communities are now enjoyed by millions of visitors every year. Perhaps that's why Austria feels so balanced. Its modern cities continue to grow, yet nature is never far away. Within an hour, busy streets can give way to quiet forests, crystal-clear lakes, and snow-covered peaks. In Austria, the mountains aren't simply part of the landscape, they are part of the nation's identity. But Austria's greatest treasure isn't hidden in its mountains. It's found in a culture that quietly influenced the entire world. Austria has never been the loudest country in Europe, yet its influence can be found almost everywhere. Walk through Vienna, and music seems to echo from every corner. This was the city where Mozart, Haydn, Schubert, and Johann Strauss created works that would shape classical music for centuries. Even today, concert halls and opera houses remain part of everyday life, not just symbols of the past. But Austria's culture isn't defined by music alone. Step into a traditional Viennese coffee house, and you'll discover a place where people aren't expected to rush. For generations, these cafes have been gathering places for writers, artists, scientists, and ordinary citizens. Ideas were shared here, friendships were formed here, and some of Europe's greatest conversations began over a simple cup of coffee. That same attention to detail appears throughout the country. Whether it's handcrafted wooden homes in the Alps, family-run bakeries using recipes passed down for generations, or local festivals that continue every year, Austrians have quietly preserved the belief that quality matters more than speed. Perhaps that's Austria's greatest lesson. Not everything valuable needs to change with time. Sometimes, preserving the best of the past is what creates the future. If Hidden Worlds helps you see familiar countries in a completely new way, subscribe and join us for the next journey across Europe. But beyond Austria's famous cities lies another world that even many travelers never discover. Austria's most beautiful places aren't always the ones you see on postcards. Beyond Vienna and Hallstatt lies another side of the country, quieter, wilder, and surprisingly untouched. In the west, the villages of Bregenzerwald blend centuries-old wooden farmhouses with award-winning modern architecture. It is a place where tradition isn't frozen in time. Instead, it continues to evolve while respecting the past. Further south, Gesäuse National Park offers a completely different experience. Sharp limestone peaks, emerald rivers, and ancient forests create one of Austria's most dramatic landscapes, yet it remains far less visited than many famous alpine destinations. Hidden beneath the mountains is another wonder, Eisriesenwelt, the largest ice cave on Earth. Inside, frozen chambers stretch deep into the mountain, filled with towering ice formations sculpted by nature over thousands of years. And when summer arrives, places like Grüner See or the Green Lake transform into something almost unreal. As snow melts from the surrounding mountains, crystal clear water floods the valley floor, covering walking paths and creating the illusion of an underwater park. These places remind us that Austria isn't simply a country of famous landmarks, it's a country filled with quiet discoveries. Sometimes, the greatest journeys begin the moment we leave the crowds behind. So after centuries of empire, breathtaking landscapes, and timeless traditions, what is the one lesson Austria leaves behind? Austria may no longer be the center of an empire, but perhaps it has found something even more valuable. In a world that moves faster every year, Austria reminds us that not everything needs to change. History can still be part of everyday life, nature can still exist alongside modern cities, and traditions can survive without standing in the way of progress. That balance is what makes Austria so unique. It isn't the tallest mountains, the grandest palaces, or the most famous concert halls that leave the deepest impression. It's the quiet confidence of a country that knows exactly who it is. Maybe that's why Austria never needs to compete for attention. Its greatest treasures reveal themselves slowly. To those willing to look beyond the postcards and spend a little more time exploring. And perhaps that's the true hidden world of Austria. Not a place hidden on the map, but a way of life that quietly proves happiness doesn't always come from having more. Sometimes it comes from preserving what truly matters. If you enjoyed discovering the hidden side of Austria, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Hidden Worlds. Every week, we explore countries that are often overlooked, revealing the stories, cultures, and landscapes that most travelers never get to see. And now we'd love to hear from you. Which hidden country should we explore next? Until then, keep exploring. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next Hidden Worlds.